Hello guys, today we are talking about your specific person and how you are responding to them and reacting and treating them in the 3D reality, but all about you. It's not about them, it's about how you're thinking about everything and the actions that maybe it's leading you to take. So especially checking up on them to do with social media, anything like that. If you are struggling with that, if you're curious about that, if you want to know exactly what you should be doing along the way whilst manifesting, this is the video for you. So welcome or welcome back if you're a returning viewer, hopefully also a subscriber, of how to handle your specific person when you have the urge to check up on them. So stay tuned all the way through to the end because I've got lots of advice for you guys. And right before we jump in, as always, a very quick overview and snippet. If you want to do your own kind of research and looking into it, taking a look at my coaching offers, you can, but everything on screen will give you a quick overview of what's available, whether it's my monthly membership or one-to-one coaching. I would also love for you guys to join my vlog channel. I don't normally promote that or talk about it very often, but if people say, oh, I like your makeup, then usually it's filmed for my channel. But yeah, if you want a sneak peek into that side of my life, any lifestyle content, travel content, anything to do with my life and kind of, sneak peeks into all of that and weekly vlogs like that, then yeah, that is all on my vlog channel. That's where I would get more into like my personal life or fun experiences, anything like that. I'm trying to reach, and I'm very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you are interested, you want to support, I'd very much appreciate that. It's linked in the description box or on my channel on the main page. But yeah, now let's just jump into the video. My first reminder for you guys right now is that your 3D reality is temporary. So there's nothing permanent or objective about what you're seeing. It doesn't mean that if you've read a certain sentence, seen something on social media, someone has told you something, or you had a bad conversation, that, whether it's with your specific person or in any context, that person doesn't like you, they don't appreciate you, you've done something wrong, you're a loser, you're not as good as someone else. Nothing like that. It's not objective. It's all up to your own perspective. So remind yourself to kind of bring yourself back into center, recenter yourself. It's not objective. It's all temporary. So the circumstances you're seeing, they're going to go away, they'll fade away, and even faster if you actually put your focus into the new version, the version of reality that you do want, the circumstances that you do want to experience. So when you're checking up on, progress with your SP, has the third party gone, whatever, something to do with social media or any form where you might be kind of trying to figure out what's going on with your person, what are updates, what's going on in their life, it's leading into bad habits because you're then relying and kind of getting reliant and seeking validation from what you're seeing externally and saying, oh, my 3D reality has confirmed that everything's okay. Therefore, my mood and my emotions are going to rely on that. I'm going to feel calm and relieved when I see the confirmation of what I want. That's not how manifesting works. That's not where your focus should be. So getting reliant on those habits of checking up on your person, trying to see what movement or progress might have happened, that's not how movement will be shown to you. It happens naturally in its own timing. So you never have to chase it or try and do something. If there is action involved, and sometimes there is on your part when you're manifesting a person, it will come up naturally in the moment. So you're just going to lead into bad habits, potential bad experience, an up and down roller coaster experience, because it's always 50-50. Even if you're manifesting and you're making progress, what your 3D might reflect you right now, and because your assumptions tie into, I need to go out and check, I need to confirm what SP's doing, then there's a chance that you will not see what you want. You'll see the opposite. And yeah, just because your 3D reality reflects that right now, remember again, it's temporary, it's going to change. If you stay focused on your affirmations, it will reflect what you want, but it's not a good practice or habit to check up on them. So like I said, it makes you reliant on that 3D validation, which you absolutely don't need, nor should you be doing. It's not going to benefit you. Seeking reassurance and needing external validation, for the most part in our lives, is not helpful. It's not going to help you feel confidence or a good level of self-worth. In terms of manifesting your self-concept, it's not going to improve or be stable if you're constantly waiting on validation externally. It's good to build it up for yourself and get into that habit of saying, I'm the creator of my reality. When I apply conscious manifestation, I put my focus where I want to improve and where I want to create my ideal result. That's what I'm going to tell myself. That's what I'm going to assume and keep repeating until it actually becomes a belief. I don't care what's going on around me. I don't care about the circumstances, and repeating that and building on that day by day, because yeah, seeking validation from the 3D, it's not going to lead to a good outcome. So another reason why it's just not good is you don't need to micromanage your manifestation or your specific person. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to be the one kind of initiating actions and reaching out or taking the lead, regardless of whatever gender roles you might think might be in play. For example, if you're a guy manifesting a girl and you do want to ask her out, and that's kind of what you've done in the past, that's fine, but it will come up naturally as inspired action. So whatever assumptions or kind of natural inclinations you have, it doesn't need to come from planning. It doesn't need to come from force or from a state of insecurity, seeking validation. When the time is right, when the inspiration comes up, that's when it will be natural and perfect in the moment. You don't need to worry about that. Let things unfold naturally. Your only focus needs to be your mindset. So yeah, you don't need to micromanage what's going on. It doesn't matter where your SP is right now, what they're doing, who they're talking to. Everything will conform, the circumstances will conform as they're meant to in their own timing. It's also irrelevant whether you've had a bad conversation or experience with your SP recently and you want to check up. It really doesn't matter what in the past they might have said or done that was disappointing or negative, or if it was a very recent experience and interaction you've had with them, or what's going on right now. So even if you do come across and check up on things and see, oh, it's not reflecting what I want, it's not going to benefit you to focus on that or take that on board as an assumption. So even seeing that, it's not going to progress your manifestation. It's not going to show you anything. It's not going to give you clarity or answers. It's just going to feed into negative assumptions. So it really doesn't matter what has been said or done in the past, if it was just negative or a bad circumstance or the opposite of what you want, commitment, relationship, something romantic. It doesn't matter if that has come up before or recently, or if you come across it, which is why you shouldn't even be going out to look for it. So obviously the main reason why it wouldn't be helpful is it could stick in your mind as an assumption and be, prominent and logically in your conscious mind. It'll be very easy to hold on to that and say, well, look at the lack of movement, or nothing's changed, or things have gotten worse, and using that as an example, and potentially spiraling. Logically, your conscious mind is going to think that way. So you could potentially spiral and then have to put more effort with a mental diet, try and reverse what you've dealt with. It's just not worth seeking out that information. And getting into that habit. It's just, in general, I don't think that's a good pattern to have. So remember that sometimes things just occur behind the scenes and it's not visible. So even if you check up on something and you don't get the confirmation or reassurance that you want from trying to, keep up with what's going on with your specific person, it could be internal. It could be their thoughts, their feelings, dreaming of you, whether or not they know you. There could be behind the scenes positive things happening that are bringing you two closer together, and the circumstances are shifting to make your relationship happen. So it's not always visible. So even if you do look up something, whether it's a lack of seeing anything change or something negative, it could still be conforming perfectly behind the scenes. So there's just no point creating bumps along the road as you're manifesting by, potentially coming across something that you don't like. You're also not trusting in yourself as the creator of your physical reality, as the person who gets to shape and decide, I'm not putting my focus here, I'm going to shift my focus, and then my circumstances will change according to that. But you're not trusting in the way the manifestation unfolds, the process, the principles of law of assumption. You're kind of putting that to the side and saying, but look at this, physical, real life, IRL experience, present time moment. This is what's standing right in front of me. It doesn't matter. That's not the end result. That's not your manifestation. So why would you put your focus there? So trust in yourself as the person who is creating and having control over what the end result will be and the way the manifestation will unfold. Like I said, remind yourself, it could very well be behind the scenes movement and internal conforming that's going on. So if you remind your mind and keep replaying that memory or keep checking up on your specific person, you're confirming to your mind consciously, and therefore with repetition, it would be going into the subconscious, that the 3D reality isn't conforming. You're holding the version you don't want in place because that's where your focus is going. So you really want to try and minimize that. And if it's a habit that you have or you get this urge, find ways and distractions and positive habits to release that and start shifting around your routine, your automated habits, and you know, the way you think about it and where your focus goes. Build it up day by day, build up new positive habits, because it can be done, and you don't actually, you won't gain anything from trying to check up on your specific person. If there is something to be shown to you or it comes up naturally, like I said, it's inspired action that just comes up naturally in the moment, so you don't need to worry about it. Everything will unfold as it's meant to if you persist, if you stay focused on your own mindset. And yeah, that summarizes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, found that useful. If you did, then please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. You'd just be able to stay up to date. It would mean a lot to me. And also leave a comment if you got this far, and I would love to hear your feedback. Is this something you're already doing? Have you already been able to change this around? I'd love to hear your feedback of how you implemented this. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.